I always believed that family was the one place where loyalty could never be questioned. Friends may come and go, people may disappoint you, but your sister, your own blood, was supposed to be untouchable. I trusted my sister with everything. I trusted her with my secrets, my struggles, even my dreams. But I never imagined that the same sister I loved so dearly was the one silently breaking me from behind my back. That realization didn't come in one sudden moment. It was a slow burn, a quiet unraveling of the foundation I thought we shared. And the truth is, the people closest to you often hold the sharpest knives. Right now, I need you to lean in because what I'm about to share is one of those stories that will stay with you long after it ends. And if you crave more untold truths, heartbreaking betrayals, and unforgettable real-life inspired stories, you need to subscribe to Life's Secret Stories. Every story uncovers a secret that changes everything. My sister, Claire, was only 2 years younger than me. We grew up almost inseparable, sharing the same room, the same clothes, and for a while, even the same circle of friends. She was my confidant, the one person I thought I could trust blindly. When I got married, she was my maid of honor. When I had my first child, she was the first to hold him. And when life weighed me down, she was always there with what I thought was unconditional support. But it turned out her loyalty wasn't what it seemed. The first signs were subtle. A missing piece of jewelry here, a strange shift in someone's attitude toward me there. At first, I brushed it all off. Who else but Claire had access to my home, my things, my life? But I trusted her too much to even consider the possibility that she could betray me. It wasn't until I started hearing whispers from mutual friends that I realized something was wrong. People began to look at me differently, with pity in their eyes. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but the shift became undeniable. Conversations stopped abruptly when I entered the room. Friends I had known for years started avoiding me, and I couldn't figure out why. Then, one evening, my neighbor pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay at home. I laughed nervously, insisting that it was. She hesitated, then said something that shook me. I didn't want to believe it, but Claire told me you and Mark have been having terrible problems, that he might be leaving. I froze. Problems? Leaving? Mark was my husband, and while no marriage is perfect, we were far from the disaster Claire had apparently painted. Why would my sister tell people such things? I brushed it off as a misunderstanding, but soon, more stories reached me. Someone at church asked how I was handling my financial struggles. Another friend offered me support for the infertility issues Claire said I was battling, even though I already had children. She wasn't just talking about me. She was inventing lies. My sister, the person I trusted most, had been poisoning my reputation behind my back. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Why would she do this? Was it jealousy? Spite? Or something deeper I didn't understand? Half of me wanted to confront her immediately, but the other half needed proof. I needed to see it with my own eyes. One night, while she was visiting, she left her phone on the table when she went to the bathroom. My hands shook as I picked it up, telling myself it was wrong but knowing I had to. And there it was, message after message to friends, neighbors, even family, painting me as a terrible wife, a careless mother, a selfish sister. She had been feeding everyone lies, weaving a story about me that made her the sympathetic victim and me the villain. I felt my world tilt on its axis. She had told people I stole from her. That I mistreated her. That I was unfaithful to my husband. Lies upon lies, carefully crafted and spread like poison. At this point, I want you to pause and imagine what it feels like to discover that the person you defended, supported, and loved your whole life was the one quietly stabbing you in the back. And if you want to hear more raw, unfiltered truths like this, subscribe right now to Life's Secret Stories, because the secrets people keep will shock you more than fiction ever could. For days, I carried the weight of what I had discovered. Every time I saw her, it was like looking at a stranger wearing my sister's face. She smiled, laughed, hugged my children, and acted as though she hadn't been destroying me piece by piece. Finally, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I confronted her. Her face shifted from shock to anger in seconds. Instead of apologizing, instead of admitting what she had done, she doubled down. She accused me of being paranoid, insecure, and jealous of her. She turned the confrontation back on me, making me feel like I was the one who had betrayed her. It was in that moment I realized something painful but true: she didn't see me as her sister. She saw me as her competition. Every achievement I had, every joy in my life, she resented. And rather than being happy for me, she wanted to tear me down so she could stand taller in the wreckage of my reputation. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife. I could have handled a friend turning against me, but a sister? My own blood? That was a wound that would never fully heal. I distanced myself from her after that. Not out of hate, but out of survival. Because some people, no matter how close they are to you, can be more dangerous than your enemies. In the months that followed, the truth came to light. People saw through her lies eventually. They realized her stories never quite added up, and slowly, the sympathy she had earned began to slip away. But by then, the damage was already done. The trust between us was destroyed, and our bond as sisters would never recover. And here's the lesson I want you to take away: sometimes the most dangerous secrets don't come from strangers, but from the people sitting across the dinner table, smiling at you while they plot your downfall. If this story shook you the way it shook me living through it, then you need to stay with us at Life's Secret Stories. Because these stories aren't just entertainment, they're warnings, reminders, and lessons about the shadows people hide behind love, family, and trust. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and never miss another story that reveals the shocking truths hidden in plain sight. Because the truth is, I trusted my sister until I learned what she was doing behind my back. And from that day forward, nothing was ever the same again.